Alright there, welcome back to the ambitious people that have decided to take the advanced unit in ambigramming. This time we're going to write the words thanks and Sandra. This was one I did for my auntie after we went to every train station in Melbourne in 24 hours. We crashed at her house, so she was kind enough to take us all rocking up after midnight and crashing. So again, we write thanks up the right way and Sandra up the opposite way. So don't get jealous, Mum. I'll write one for you too. So why have I just put a K in there? That should be an A. There you go. So thanks, Sandra, is what it should look like. And the best thing as an ambigram artist is when you see letters like this. And you come to know these tricks after a while, but S's and N's, when they line up together, that is a beautiful thing because S's and N's are S's and N's. And so it doesn't matter which way you write them, they'll be the same. So we'll start by putting in our S, which is great, especially the first letter. Again, your mind can read words really well when it knows the first and last letter, so they're the ones that you really want to get right. So we've done the S, and now we've got an A and a K. So I look at the A and a K and I think, well, they've both got kind of this shape in common. And if I put a cheeky little thing on top there, my mind doesn't really register that as a K because it's backwards, and especially not when I put a dot in there. So I'll come down here, I'll put my little A in, and the little flick for the K on top. And now N, again, they rotate, and so it doesn't matter how you write it, that'll be an N. The next part is a D and an upside down A. And my A doesn't look like a D much at all at the moment, but if I did say an A like this, upside down, that looks a bit more like a D, but obviously that looks like a V now, because that's what A turns over into. So we need to come to some sort of compromise where that's going to still look like an A, but look a bit more like a D. So we can get a little bit bigger flick on there. That still looks like an A, but should look a bit more like a D now rather than a V, and so that should be a bit more of a D. So we put that in there. So that should still say sand. Now this is the trickiest part of it. An R and a H obviously aren't going to work because they've just got not a lot in common. I mean, you could maybe do something like that, and that's not really much of a H when you turn upside down, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to combine two letters to make one. And so what I do, sometimes if I get stuck, I draw an R out as a non-capital letter and an A as a non-capital, and see if there's anything in common there. What I can see is that a H, when you do a non-capital, looks like that, and that could easily become an R, and that could easily become part of my A, with the other part becoming the T. So you can see upside down this would be a TH, and I'll just throw that out for you. So that's a TH, and then on the other side it should be an RA, and we make that a little bit better. So let's try that. We'll get the R. So the R needs to have a little flick on the end like that, because it needs to join up to the A, and then the A here needs to be like that. So that's going to be a H, and then the T joining it up at the end. Let's see. Now if I've got that right, which I may or may not have, I could have put a tiny bit bigger flick on a T, then that should say thanks Sandra. So there you go. It says thanks Sandra. So thanks for watching.